Welcome to the Righteous Tongues podcast, where we speak fluent hip-hop. Hosted by FDT, the BX Boy and D.Bail. For more episodes, please visit grusslemedia.com. Peace.
What up, world? Welcome to the Righteous Tongues podcast, where we speak fluent hip-hop with your host, FDT.
Yo, what up, world? It's your boy. We back. I know it's been a minute, but life is crazy. To our listeners out there, most of you guys are friends and family. Y'all know I done brought new life into this world and had a baby girl. So those of you that have children, y'all understand that when you have a child, things tend to change. So I'm glad we can get back and do an episode with my fellas here, my family, and we're gonna have a good episode for y'all.
Word, the BX Boy.
Yes, the BX Boy, y'all. Like my cousin FTT said, life gets in the way sometimes, but in that instance, it's a great situation. So, we're glad to be back. We know it's been a while, but, we always had the intention of coming back. There's been a lot of news, and we're here to give you our takes on it, and hopefully you enjoy. Glad to be back.
Word, and I'll be your media arts specialist, D.Bail. And once again, you're listening to the Righteous Tongues podcast, where we speak fluent hip-hop right here on grusslemedia.com. Once again, always got to give a shout out to everybody checking us out on YouTube, youtube.com/GrussleMediaUSA. Please share, please like, and please comment, and tell a friend to tell a friend, man. We on the way to a couple of other digital platforms, but for right now, y'all can catch us on GrussleMedia.com and, of course, on the YouTube page. So, like FDT said, you know what I'm saying, we got a new addition to the family. My goddaughter / niece, and we're just happy to bring new life within our family, because this is, unlike most podcasts, man, this is a family-oriented podcast, man. We all are related, blood related, you know what I'm saying? So it's a unique, different type of situation. So we all wish congratulations to FDT and family, you know what I mean?
Yes, congrats.
For real, man. And
appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Word.
Yeah, man. So so much has happened, as FDT and the BX Boy commented on, since the last time we've been here. But we're gonna pick up on the recent release of DJ Khaled's video titled "Higher," featuring the late great Nipsey Hussle and R&B star John Legend. The video has Nipsey decked out in his traditional blue colors and really speaking some really felt and really introspective lyrics that are fitting for this unfortunate loss that we had. Like, he really left us with so many jewels, and lyrically, he just was in his bag on this joint. I made a couple comments on the Grussle Media YouTube page, honoring and showing love and respect to Nipsey Hussle's legacy. And even to this date, and we're going on over a month and some change since Nipsey was tragically taken away from us, man. And I say us because it really feels like that type of loss, where it was like, his mission and what he was trying to put together is entrenched and deep in all of us. It's like, what would we do if we had the opportunity to save the hood? He was really living that, So when I say from us, it's no disrespect. It just, that loss just feels so close, man, and we really don't have all the answers. We have a lot of speculation. We have a suspect, but we are still left with that loss and that grief of a brother that did all he could to really uplift his neighborhood, man. So I know you guys had a couple of thoughts that you wanted to say on behalf of the RTP podcast, man. So feel free, yo. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, this the BX Boy. A few things about Nipsey. And I have to give D.Bail a lot of credit, because he's the one that put me on to Nipsey. I didn't really know too much about him.
Wow.
I mean, I heard the name, but I never even really checked for his music. I'm sorry to say it like that, until D.Bail did, but I'm glad he did, because I got a chance to really look into his catalog and later what he was about and some of the things he was trying to do. And, it was very impressive, and like I said, he, started, had the gang background, and, that was a heavy emphasis in his music, and it continued to be, but, you could see a man that was making a transition in his life and was trying to strive for more positive things and trying to, show a lot of the young people a different way He did
No
that in his
doubt.
music, and he did so much outside of the music that I didn't really know about until later, tragically, until really he passed away. And it's just like, wow, he was doing this, he was doing this, he was trying to bring a lot of technology into some of the underserved, communities, Crenshaw.
Yeah.
Just, a lot of stuff he was doing out there in Cali, trying to get people to like eat better and really just try to change the mindset of a lot of the young people in a lot of urban areas where,
No doubt.
maybe, your thinking is on one level, and he was really trying to like elevate it. He was trying to really get young people involved in science and math, more involved with computers. He was doing a lot of work with the gangs, trying to lessen the violence and bring, lasting peace treaties, something that's been very hard to do, to create a sustaining type of peace between a lot of the gangs. And so he was really doing a lot, and he was opening businesses, in the community, in the hood, as he was just doing so much, and then just to see that brother taken out like that when he was trying to bring so much back and trying to, it's just a tragedy, man. It really is. Just when are we gonna learn? When are we gonna stop targeting those that are really trying to help elevate us? And
yeah,
it just made me really sad, especially for a guy who I have to admit I really wasn't following that heavy until D.Bail really put me on to him. But when he did, and I really started checking him out, I'm like, wow, he's really doing some big things. And you really feel bad for the family, for his kids that he leaves behind. Just a tragic situation, man. But Lauren London, absolutely, and just for our community, like, where do we go from here? That'll be I think the key thing to look out for. Are we gonna, keep the marathon going, or are we just gonna, sink back in the old ways? I'm hopeful though that that we're gonna keep pushing, because let's hope that brother didn't give his life in vain, so that nothing changes. Everything just goes back to the same old. But yeah, man, rest in peace to Nipsey, his legacy in the music, outside of the music. Just got to keep it going, man. This can't be the end. This has to be a beginning. And we need more people to do what he did, and not to be scared off by the tragic circumstances, which we still don't know all the details around. But just from the stuff that we know, can't let that scare us away from doing what needs to be done. Because I think there's forces and people out there that want it to be the end, want this to be, like a finality to what he was doing, but this has to be a beginning. So I'm hopeful, but we got work to do. So rest in peace to Nipsey, and and just condolences and prayers to his family, friends, and fans.
Facts, man. Yeah. Well said, BX boy. Well said, man.
Absolutely, man.
Word.
Like I said, what BX boy said, if it wasn't for D.Bail, I wouldn't really have listened to Nipsey Hussle like that. It wasn't until Victory Lap came out that I actually did start to get to listen to this brother's music. And so I can't really speak on Nipsey as an artist, but I can speak on him as a man, as a human being, and the type of impact that he left. You know what I'm saying? This man wanted to inspire his hood. He gave back. You know what I mean? He actually tried to build up his community, and it's just sad to see his life taken away like that. You know what I mean? It's like I remember seeing the news when it was reported that, Nipsey had taken like 6 shots. And I remember calling D.Bail like, yo, did you hear this? Like, you know what I mean? And at this time, it wasn't announced that he had passed yet.
Right.
There was still some hope.
Yeah.
And I was talking to D.Bail. I said, man, this is what before my daughter came, I was hoping like, yo, hopefully the next podcast we have, we won't have to, have a tribute to Nipsey Hussle. And sure enough, the news broke out. Nipsey was gone, but it's a sad thing, man. It's a sad thing, but hopefully, since his passing, his demise, that we can find some type of unity. Like in LA right now, we've seen that a lot of the gangs have united and put their beefs aside for Nipsey.
Yeah.
So hopefully his death isn't in vain. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can continue that marathon. Nick Cannon has also picked up his documentary with Dr. Sebi. documentary that
Yeah,
he's
yeah. He vowed to
Definitely.
continue
gonna
it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to continue. Like I said, with the DJ Khaled video that just came out, like I said, it's definitely a very positive video. Showed Nipsey in a great light. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't, gang banging or doing anything crazy in the video. Like I said, he was in his signature blue, repping the West Coast.
For sure.
It's a really sad thing. But like I said, he had a lot of respect from a lot of different artists too as well. Like everybody loved Nipsey. I never heard anybody say anything bad about him. He never beefed with anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Yep.
man.
Definitely.
Nothing ever serious, man. He garnered so much respect. There might have been little stuff here and there, but nothing that would tarnish the reputation of the man of honor that he lived by. You know what I mean? He was a man of honor. He was a man of respect. And unfortunately, sometimes success breeds contempt. It breeds jealousy. Some of the ugly attributes, of the hood, man. And
you can't help everybody.
Man, you took the words right out of my mouth, man, for sure. And that's our everyday struggle. Like, we want to help, we want to give back, but you give somebody 20, they want to say, why you ain't give me 50? It's always something.
Exactly. Yes.
So
yes, no matter how much you give, it'll never be enough, and that's really a challenge that we face, man. But it's just made me sad, man, especially for a guy that I really wasn't following that heavy, and I'm mad at myself that I wasn't, but just like, damn, man,
Yeah, man. I mean, I can honestly say, I followed him since 2008, and
wow.
I mean, I met his peoples. I had his first mixtape, and I still have it somewhere. I literally have his first, commercial release of a mixtape. I know he had Slauson Boy Volume 1 for all of those, hardcore West Coast cats that had the Nipsey mixtapes, the swap meet, editions even before, he dropped the Bullets Ain't Had No Name Volume 1. But that's the first mixtape that I have from him. I remember just taking the CD home and putting it in my CD player, wow. I'm old, right? Yeah, right. But listening to that mixtape and at first looking at the mixtape cover, seeing the blue, seeing the braids, of course he resembles Snoop. He looks like Snoop.
Snoop,
But
I thought he was Snoop's lost son when I first seen him in I think I saw him in a Vibe magazine one time back in 2008 around the same time.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, did Snoop have a child he ain't tell us about?
Right. Nah, to a lot of us East Coast heads, man, we definitely thought that, he had a lot of attributes that Snoop has and had, and it's just tragic, So the marathon,
it really is.
The marathon, is gonna continue within the mix of all of us, the things that we do within our own communities to give back, even helping somebody, find a job, or just giving somebody information, that can help benefit their lives. That's a part of the marathon, man. That's all it's all a part of the mission of upliftment. And even with this podcast, a lot of times, we talk about the beefs and everything like that, but we do it all in a tasteful term. And I think even with Righteous Tongues, even with that name, we have a certain responsibility to not pump, the culture with a whole bunch of garbage and nonsense. So we definitely
there's plenty of avenues and other sources that do that. So we're not that.
You have a plethora of different places you can go to get that, but for us,
if you want that,
we want to keep it as authentic and as conscious as we can, man, because that is an important element of hip hop that I guess we all feel like is missing. Hence why we're here with the Righteous Tongues podcast, man. So once again, we give our condolences to Nipsey Hussle's family, his friends, and to all the people that he collabed with.
Fans, all of that.
For real. Yeah, definitely, man.
And
so what else we got on the list?
The West Coast.
Okay.
ScHoolboy Q had an interview with Charlamagne the God, and he said some not too kind words about the state that I currently reside in. But if you actually listen to the whole video, the whole interview, like I said, I'll say the snippet. Like I said, ScHoolboy Q was talking to Charlamagne the God, and in the snippet he says, you're from Delaware. No offense to Delaware, but like, nigga, I'm from LA. Like, you're from Delaware. Like, what can you really tell me? And people from the 302 area, they just took that shit and ran with
out
it.
the way. Yeah.
Everybody's out here. Yeah, they trying to beef with ScHoolboy Q. Even has
the dollar sign.
You know what I mean? Try to, they put out diss records to ScHoolboy
That's
Q.
That's it. That's a dollar sign as soon as he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, going on Instagram and, comment, leaving nasty comments. He's not welcome in Delaware. He's from Delaware and all sort of stuff like that. And it just makes Delaware look sad, honestly, man, because, like I said, if you actually listen to the interview, he really just threw out Delaware as a random example. He wasn't specifically trying to target Delaware or anybody from Delaware. He wasn't trying to say that Delaware people were soft or corny or stupid or anything disrespectful like that. And he even said no disrespect.
Right.
But like I said, in today's era, people got a clout chase.
Yeah, that's what it is. In today's era, anything you throw out there, get attention.
Put something on the map. Yeah, and the sad
getting attention now is hard, man.
Yeah, the sad thing about the rapper, I think his name's Magic 302 or B Magic 302. He doesn't even live in Delaware. That's the crazy thing I heard.
You say he's from Philly or something?
Nah, he's from Delaware, but I think he lives in Florida now or something like that. But either still, ScHoolboy Q even shared that person's diss record on his page. He even followed him, which I thought was hilarious.
Let me help you out, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's just one of them things where it's just like, you gotta just listen to the whole interview. You gotta stop just jumping out the window with shit like this.
Yeah. Well, we
clickbait type thing.
Yeah, we live in the clickbait era, unfortunately, and a lot of times we even see that even with social media. Like, people will get pieces of the story, and they won't have a full understanding of what's happening, and they just feel the need to automatically comment on it. But to be fair, FDT, we did go over this, and we were saying that you're not a native Delawarean, man. You're a New Yorker. You're a New Yorker, man. So could it be that being that you were born and partially raised in New York, that you won't have as such sensitive feelings towards somebody coming at Delaware? Because let's be honest, this is not like the first piece of shade that Delaware has gotten. A lot of people sleep on Delaware, A lot of people,
true.
So it's probably like one of those situations where it's like, I'm just kind of tired of people talking down on my state, So you're in between New Jersey, you're in between Philly. It's just one of those things, So
it's it's a nothing place. Like, it's just some plot of land, in between more important places. Philly
and it's the first
Jersey.
State. It's the first state.
But at the end of the day, that is a fact. The Delaware's market isn't big. Like, we can't name any famous rappers that are from Delaware. You can't even really name any famous black people from Delaware. And if you go on the list of the most famous people from Delaware, you got Joe Biden, you got R.I.P. Plaza. One of Bob Marley's sons was born here, but that's really about it. You know what I mean? So it's just one of the things. It's just like it's a small state, it's a small area, it has a small market. Again, even the one rapper who had a chance to try to make something of himself and could have blown up and could have put Delaware on the map, Bobby Dimes, he was murdered by his own people in Delaware.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, so it's just one of the things where it's just like,
wow,
like ScHoolboy said, it's Delaware, But like I said, don't sleep. I mean, like I said, he didn't say they were soft. Like I said, Wilmington does have one of the worst cities when it comes to crime and murder.
Right.
So
it is. It is.
Those that know definitely know, and it's not something to glorify, but.
It's not, but it's just fact,
It's a fact, definitely, man. Wow, man.
It's a BX boy. I got a topic too as well, and I thought this one was interesting. It has to do with De La Soul versus Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
And I saw their interview on Sway in the morning. And I have to admit, like a lot of people, it broke my heart, man, because I'm a big De La Soul fan. I'm a big Native Tongues fan. I just love the whole collective, man, between Jungle Brothers and Tribe and De La and, I believe Queen Latifah and others, all part of that collective. So So to hear, you know, the kind of deal that they I guess struck or whatever the situation was with Tommy Boy, and that they basically get 10% of the revenue while Tommy Boy's getting 90%. It's just like almost makes you feel guilty for, like, you know, even wanting to get anything off the streaming services. You know, it's like, damn.
Well,
I mean, you know, for brothers that had such a big impact, you know, on my life and just in the music that I like, it's just like, damn, you know, do I, don't I? Honestly, it's not even really a hard decision, man. With terms like that, I don't think there's any way that if you call yourself a real fan that you could support what Tommy Boy is doing.
Nah, you definitely can't.
In my opinion, anyway. I just don't. It's just no, just can't. You know.
Yeah, you definitely.
So yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts about just the whole situation and like how maybe situations like this can be avoided in the future, or maybe things have changed so much that artists now don't even have to go through the same things that De La and others of that time did because of the internet, because you can do so much stuff yourself now. You don't even really have to, you know, deal with so much of the BS and the politics that come with record companies, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention that sampling was another big thing, I think, which they had issues getting a lot of samples cleared. But sampling is not even that big now compared to what it was then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just to get some of your thoughts on just the whole De La, Tommy Boy
well, let me go to stereogum.com so we can give our listeners a little bit more of a backstory of what you're speaking about. All right. So as you said, the BX Boy, you had De La Soul, classic trio hip hop group from the late 80s, early 90s, brothers that definitely transcended, you know, with their music and their style and just everything, man. Native Tongues movement. They were on Sway in the Morning, and they announced that their full catalog would be available to stream and purchase online. However, they are fighting
first
Tommy
6
Boy.
albums, I think.
Yeah, all 6 albums, but they're fighting Tommy Boy Records over royalties because Tommy Boy somehow was able to acquire De La Soul's catalog. And the split roughly goes 90% to Tommy Boys. That's their royalties, the monies. 90% and only 10% goes to De La Soul.
De La.
So, you know, unfortunately, Tommy Boy owns the catalog pretty much, and they are stifling De La Soul from making a good living on their full catalog of music. I mean, they're gonna make money when they tour, but in terms of their streaming and in terms of their online purchases, they only get 10%. And you know that sounds a little ridiculous. It
sounds very ridiculous.
There are other instances of older artists. Antoinette the Boss is another one. She was on the Doggy Diamonds podcast. She was talking about how she signed a crazy predatory deal where the production company basically was dealing with the record label and taking the majority of her budget. This is something that a lot of the older artists dealt with because, unfortunately, hip-hop was kind of like a new genre. And that's why Jay-Z was so adamant about, you know, being so heavy-handed when it comes to business due to some of the unscrupulous business practices that took place with some of our beloved veterans of the sport, man. You know, it's just unfortunate. Tommy Boy, they should be held accountable. They should be able to come back to the table with De La Soul and rework out an agreement that could be favorable for both parties. However, Tommy Boy is seeming as if that this is just a money grab. They don't really seem like they're invested into the actual culture of hip hop. I could be wrong saying that, but it seems that way, you know, just based upon
that really does.
what De La Soul is saying. And I hope that this situation can be worked out. Unfortunately, it's going to play out on social media, but it needs to play out in the court of law and need to go back to the table with their lawyers and figure out what their options are. Because they should be compensated for their work.
Certain artists can't get their own masters, man. That's really where it's at.
That's really where it's at. But, you know, at the same time, looking at it objectively, it's a business. So Tommy Boy, they have to acquire some money off of the catalog as well. but they need to be.
Yeah, but 90%.
90% is a lot,
Yeah,
but
that's
they need to work it
insane,
out.
yeah.
They need to work it out. But in terms of our,
But the thing is,
like they was not. Tommy Boy didn't write those rhymes. You know what I mean?
that's a fact.
but the thing is, De La Soul said that Tommy Boy was the only place where they could really get the creative control, and I mean that's a big thing too. I mean they stacked the deck against you, so that if you don't have one thing, then it's another thing they're holding over you. Well, you know, we can give you this, but then you know you can't. It's just you can't win for losing basically with the industry. I mean that's what I'm saying with a lot of this stuff, and it's just makes me sad. It reminds me of that song that Jizza had on Liquid Swords, Labels, where he was just going in on basically every label he could think of.
You talking about Jizza?
Yeah, Jizza, the label song. He was like, Tommy ain't my motherfucking boy.
That's exactly what
he said. You try to fake jacks on a nigga that you employ.
Yep.
You know? I think Nas even posted that
he did
on his Instagram.
He did.
You know?
As did
Questlove.
Yeah.
As did Questlove.
Yeah, they getting a lot of support from hip hop, from a lot of artists, because you know a lot of artists can relate. You know, they probably signed a lot of those type of deals themselves. So you know,
and
people need to rock with them, man. That's the only way anything's gonna change. And Jay-Z is helping. He's not streaming their I think their albums on Tidal. So I mean, he's trying to do his part, I believe.
Yeah,
Jay-Z's been doing this thing, man.
yeah. Listen, it's important, and even for you younger artists that are out there that's listening, that might not have even heard of De La Soul and thinks that this has nothing to do with you. Believe it or not, all of this is connected. It's all connected because it's just the way De La Soul is getting done dirty by Tommy Boy as of right now. 20 years later, I'm sure we're gonna hear of artists from this generation that are kind of going through those same similar situations. You know.
You're right. It might be different. You know, it'll be different ways, but they'll still be getting screwed.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
The 360 deals, all of that. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those situations that I feel like we all got to pay attention to. If you attacking De La Soul, if you're cheating De La Soul, you're cheating the culture, straight up and down. There's no way ifs, ands, or buts around it. You are cheating the culture if you're treating such a iconic trio in this type of way. Business aside, a 90 to 10% split is a little crazy. It's a little crazy. Now, the other thing that they're saying is that De La Soul, or the record company that De La Soul was a part of before, did not clear a lot of these different samples. So that's another thing. That's another reason why Tommy Boy is saying, okay, well, we're going to take 90% because when these artists sue us over these samples that have been used over your album, then we're going to be the ones that are going to have to go to court and fight for it. So
that's like true, but I heard they had an explanation for that.
About that so.
They were saying that Tommy Boy was making it hard for them to really pay people back because they were putting the squeeze on them. So they were saying that even that situation could be resolved and they could pay people, but Tommy Boy is making it difficult for them to really get their money and handle some things. It's all in the Sway interview. I'd encourage everyone listening, if they haven't heard it, to listen to De La Soul's interview with Sway. It's just really a good one, and it really sheds a lot of light on the industry, the music industry, and just some of the things a lot of those artists of that time had to go through. Definitely. And how it affects them now, you know. So, and it also, like you said, D.Bail, it also relates to the younger artists and some of the things they may have to go through, and you know, so it's just important to know for yourself, know about your music, know about your business, just be in the know as much as you can, and that's the best thing I can tell people.
Yeah, man. Nobody wants to get jerked, man. Nobody wants to get
especially
jerked.
Later on.
Yeah,
you know,
people want to be compensated for the work that they're putting in, and we definitely feel as if they should, you know.
That's all. We ain't asking for anything more. Just be fair. That's it.
Yep. Any words, FTT, on that?
Nah, that's pretty much it. You know, like you said, younger people listening, younger artists, you know, pay attention. Like it might seem the money's coming now, it's coming fast. You might seem like you're gonna be rich forever, but eventually it's gonna stop. And the royalties gonna have to help pay them bills. So pay attention to them bills you're signing, huh? That's it.
For sure, man. And hey, keep it a band. You know, J. Cole tried to warn y'all on his last album about all of that. So
yeah, 1985. So
that's it.
y'all might have to go back. You feel me? You might have to go back.
Don't sleep.
Go back,
Don't
man.
don't sleep. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, my topic, because I gotta get up out of here in a little bit. I just want to talk about, you know, how jealous I am. I ain't gonna hold you to anybody that had tickets to see Jay-Z at Webster Hall performing his B-sides too, man. And just looking at it, I can't wait to see it. Hopefully it'll end up on Netflix. But from what I'm seeing, you talking about an epic concert. Jay-Z paid tribute to Nipsey Hussle, of course. He brought out his former adversary, Nasty Nas, up on stage. Another former adversary, Cameron, man.
Cameron. Jim Jones, too, I think, was there. Yeah, that was crazy.
Jim Jones, you know. Jay and Jim had pieced it up a minute ago because Jim has been down with Rock Nation for about a year now. So that was something that was already
Cameron
in the mix.
Okay.
But Cameron, man, that was a huge shocker because Cameron was somebody that seemed like, you know, he don't really piece it up with people. You know, Cameron, if he got beef with you, he kind of sticks to his guns on that. You know what I'm saying? So they came together to perform, not for the first time, but definitely first time in a long time. Definitely in a decade. Welcome to New York City. They performed that joint.
It's a dope song, too.
Dope song, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Jay performed joints like A Million and One Questions, Don't You Know, and one of my favorite Jay-Z songs, Some People Hate. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I love like this type of concert is because, you know, you always gonna get those fans that's gonna know Jay-Z. Oh, that's the guy that sings Hard Rock Life, right? Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm more of like a fan of
Beyonce's husband.
Right, you know, exactly. Like I'm more of a fan of like the Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? Like the cuts that didn't get as much credit, man. So for me,
me too. That's some of his best records.
Yeah, like that would have been crazy.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And where I'm from, one of the illest Jay-Z joints,
that's
man.
We
got the joint, you know, who's the best MCs? Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, you know.
Jay-Z and Nas.
That iconic bar right there, you know what I'm saying? So, big ups to Jay for just always remaining relevant without even trying too hard. Like, Jay's the type of dude.
He's the president of hip hop.
For real.
Just put it out there. He's the president.
There you go.
He's delegating. He's politicking. He's doing what needs to be done for the culture, man.
That's
like,
a fact.
He's a chameleon.
Round of applause, man. Even if you're not a fan of his music per se, like just
you can respect how
doing. You know what I'm saying? Helping free meat, just all the different things he's been doing. Like that's another person who I'm worried about because he's doing similar things that Nipsey's doing as far as giving back to the community and stuff. So it's just like, you know, I pray, you know, Jay-Z is covered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because he could be.
He's a vital part to our culture.
Super vital.
That he is.
Super vital,
That
man.
he is.
Yeah, man.
That he is.
So,
I want to do any honorable mentions, like maybe mentioning the Wu-Tang documentary.
Yeah.
Or,
I mean, I want.
Or is it a show? Because I heard.
It's a 4-part series.
4-part
series. Okay, that's a documentary.
Yeah. It's an extended documentary.
Isn't Davey supposed to play Method Man? That's the one you're talking about, right?
Well, no. That's another one. That's
something else.
Yeah, that's a movie that's coming out. That's like a series that's coming out. But this was a 4-part documentary put together by Showtime. Honestly, BX Boy, I haven't even got a chance to check it out. From what I heard, all my friends from you know what I'm saying, 80s babies are texting me, man, like, yo, you got to check out this Wu-Tang documentary. Shout out to Skilly, man. He was like, yo, that's like one of the illest documentaries I ever saw. You got to check it out, D.Bail. So I got to get on it, BX Boy. But to all of our listeners and supporters, check that out, man. The Wu-Tang documentary, man. Wu-Tang Clan of Mics to Men. It's actually streaming on Showtime on the app, so you can just grab up the app and stream for 1 month free and check it out. But it's definitely out there, man. And it's official tissue, man. And there's also an EP that came out with that.
Oh yeah, heard the RZA and Ghost joint.
Right, the RZA and Ghost joint. And the only thing that people not feeling, Method Man is not featured on the EP, but most of the other Wu-Tang lyricists are there. You got Capadonna, you got Master Killer on there.
You got Raekwon and Ghost.
You got Raekwon and Ghost, definitely, man. So You know, yeah, it's official tissue, man. Shout out to Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes.
Shout out to Wu-Tang, man.
Yes.
Rest in peace, ODB, man, for real.
Yes, yes. Don't forget ODB, yeah.
Peace to the Righteous Tongues podcast.
This is the Honorable Mention Report.
I do want to discuss something real quick before we end real quick.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Go
I
ahead,
do
man.
want to talk about just the music. We haven't really gotten to any really music lately as far as hip-hop is concerned compared to what we did in 2018. Seems like 2019 is slowed down a little bit compared to last year. It seemed like a different project was dropping every week. But
Yeah.
you know, definitely want to talk about Styles P real quick, his album and Logic's album.
Yeah, what's
Again,
up?
Just for a few moments. Like I said, Styles P. I'm pretty sure most of us all heard it.
Yeah, I heard most of it.
Yeah.
I like it. You know,
I heard it. I like it too.
You know,
He's been on the road.
You're never gonna get a bad Styles P album. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely the most consistent album ever, easily.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Even though I think Jada lyrically is better, Styles P has just put out more consistent quality music.
Oh,
And I don't think that's up for debate, really.
And like I said, I just want to say, it goes to show, like we were talking about earlier in one of our Righteous Tongues podcast episodes about, you know, older MCs, can they stay relevant? Can they still make good music? And with Styles P, the answer is yes. You know what I mean?
Not only that, they can get
dope shit.
they can get better. Like, you know, like I be hearing Method Man on some tracks. I'm like, yo, you sound even better to me sometimes than he did in 1993, 94. You know, I mean, sometimes, you know, I'm like, wow, he's really spitting. And not just him, but there's a lot of artists. They age like fine wine, man. Getting older is not, it's something that, you know, it's not, it could be a good thing. Let's just put it that way. Everybody always treats it like, oh, you know, you're getting older, your skills decline. Not necessarily. Black Thought in his 40s, he's still going stronger than 99.9% of all rap artists. Mainstream at least.
Yeah, I mean, and you should
That's a
think
bold
about it.
statement.
I mean, not for nothing. It should be as time goes on, people get better. You know, like a fine wine, especially when you got something like lyricism. Like, I mean, it's not like you're an athlete and you're dependent on your body to stay up to a certain level of condition. You know,
exactly. You learn more, you're experiencing more,
right,
so
you know.
your vocabulary, the things you think about, it should expand, it should grow. So
And the experiences that you've gone through as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all of that. So it should expand, not contract. You know.
Right.
So,
Should be.
And then,
definitely.
like I said, quick segue in the Logic's album. Can't go into it fully as much as I would like to. Like I said, I only heard it one time, but there is a song on there called Clickbait. And it was one of the topics for the podcast tonight. And it was, you know, Logic, not really beefing, but, you know, he had some words for Charlamagne the God, and Charlamagne, you know, gave him Donkey today because of a certain bar he put out about, you know, Charlamagne. Basically, you know, I don't even remember the bar word for word, but he just said, he basically was saying that Charlamagne was messy. Like, you know what I mean? The stuff that the interviews he puts out, stuff that he talks about, it's just, you know.
I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, radio is clickbaity because it you know, they want people to listen, man. So
it almost has to be in order to retain any kind of attention nowadays.
Right.
It has to be, you know, headline seeking and trolly. It's what it is.
I think it's just, you
unfortunately.
I think we're in an era now where certain media personalities are more popular than the artist, and it didn't always used to be like that. You know what I mean? Like,
nope.
So
right.
I think artists sometimes are in their feelings now because some of these radio personalities, it might hold a little bit more weight, you know, culturally than they do. You know,
yeah.
I don't, you know, you know what you're getting when you go to a
That's a good point right there. I didn't think about that. That's a good point. But you're right. Charlamagne and some others.
You know what
a good point.
You know what they, you know, they have to stir the pot, whether it be a Charlamagne, a Ebro, a Troy Terrain. They have to stir the pot.
Academic.
Yeah, academics, like they gotta stir the pot. So it's like, this is just what it is. and you have a choice not to answer certain questions, I think it's just a sign of maturity. To me, Logic has been in the game long enough. He signed to one of the greatest labels in the world, a label that definitely gives him media training. You're signed to Def Jam Records. So at this point, you got to figure out, hey, you got to grow a little bit tougher skin. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like, there's certain ways as a man that you're going to handle yourself. If somebody come at you sideways, you address it. I think Charlemagne picks on easy targets. People people that allow themselves to be picked on. You notice that Charlemagne,
he knows who to say things to.
Right, it's a certain energy.
That's evident.
Different people.
He ain't do that to Beanie Siegel, like.
Right, so it's like, to me,
he ain't do that to Birdman either.
Logic has this choice of saying, well, I don't want to go to the Breakfast Club, but respectfully on their end, they said they're not really checking for him either. I don't really want to get into the album because I didn't hear it. I heard that one cringe-worthy song, and I just was like, I don't know, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know about that.
It's to each his own, man. But I think Logic is a dope lyricist. I think he has a lane. I think he has a fan base. He doesn't necessarily need to go to the Breakfast Club for him to do what he needs to do. But ultimately, as an artist, and not just saying for him, you have to have tough skin in this game. You have to have tough skin, and you don't have to answer every question. Like people say, oh, they go on Vlad TV, and Vlad TV, he got me telling on myself. Like, nah, bro. Like, you go up to these interviews, you talk about what you want to talk about.
You choosing to answer.
Right, you choose to answer certain questions. There's a way to go, to talk to somebody and say, hey, I'm not really trying to talk to that. Or even like before the interview, you can ask questions. If you have a publicist, if you have a manager, a lot of these artists are signed, so they have certain middlemen that can inquire about certain things. Like, okay, listen, Logic is coming up here. He doesn't want to talk about this. And as a radio personality, you can say, all right, cool, or you can say, nah, I want to push the issue. And they can let you know if you push the issue, the interview might go left. Like, but as a man, you kind of have to regulate the way that people come at you. You have to hold a certain kind of respect that nobody would feel the need to try to violate you. And if they did, you could correct it where they would never do it.
You can address it quick.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't really understand. Like you said, FDT, it's not really a beef, but it just seems like as a rapper, you're a Def Jam rapper, man. You got a good life, a good deal. Yo, Charlemagne trolling you is the least of your worries, my brother. Just get your money and keep working on your rap skills. Because when you focus on that, you're a dope artist, man. When you deal with all the antics, it kind of takes away from the music that you're putting out. Because now people are looking to clown you instead of really even giving your music a chance. And I feel like that last album, he really turned the corner where it was like, yo, dude is a legit artist. Like, he's nice, man. Like, even the people that hate on him can't deny that he's doing his damn thing. But with stuff like this, it's like that moment overshadowed his album almost. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. So,
especially staying what he just said.
Word, man.
I ain't even gonna get into what he said, but what he said was crazy.
Yeah, we'll leave that alone.
Well, until next episode, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we want to thank y'all for tuning into the Righteous Tongues podcast with your host FDT. Any last words?
No, man, like I said, I just appreciate y'all for listening, subscribing, sharing our stuff with everybody, like D.Bail said earlier, word of mouth, just spreading the Righteous Tongues podcast, our message, our goals, all that good stuff, man. Tune in to the next episode. Peace.
And the BX boy.
Yes, y'all. I know it's been a long time, but we're glad to be back. Glad that you keep tuning in. Glad that you keep spreading the word about us. So just stay tuned, and we're gonna keep coming with that good stuff to keep you coming back. Always as important, love, peace, and soul.
All right. I'll be your media art specialist, D.Bail. Once again, big ups to Illustrious Entertainment for running our banner at their Industry Tuesday shows every third Tuesday of the month at Miss Harlem on 116th Street. Big ups to Illogic and Big Ty, man. We appreciate you running the Righteous Tongues podcast banner throughout the showcase, man. Appreciate y'all. So We will check in with y'all soon. And, once again, just drop us a line. We're going to try to get with y'all on a more consistent basis. But, sometimes life is life. But the good news is we come back strong. We come back prepared. We come back ready. And until next episode, man, y'all be easy out there. Peace.
Peace.